Welcome, my friends, to another NCIX PC episode. This time we have the Corsair Dream Machine, and it might look pretty similar to the last Dream Machine X series you saw, but this is the XG instead of the XR. The XR had the, at that time, latest new highest-end graphics card ever, the Radeon R9 290X. This one has the new latest, fastest graphics card ever, the GeForce GTX 780Ti, which has officially dethroned the 290X as the fastest single GPU graphics card. And we've taken the already successful concept of the XR, made a couple changes, mostly that card and the color scheme, and now we have the XG. In much the same way that the XR was designed to challenge boutique builder systems, but at a much more reasonable price point, the XG achieves the same thing. Now, speaking of boutique builder systems, guys, remember that NCIX PCs are all completely custom. Once the 780 Ti was launched, there is no reason you couldn't go in, take an XR, and turn it into an XG by changing the graphics card and changing the color scheme, because all of the systems are that flexible. So it starts with the Corsair 750D. I really like this case, as I already mentioned last time around. It has a front panel, headphone, microphone, reset switch, power switch, 2 USB 3.0 ports, 2 USB 2.0 ports, 3 5¼ bays that are stealthed with covers that match the width of the front of the case, giving it an extremely clean look. We've also got a removable front panel with a removable fan filter that is extremely easy, again, to remove and to clean, so you can keep things nice and tidy. In fact, if you bought enough of these systems, you could probably not even bother to vacuum anymore. You could just have Dream Machine XGs, and then they could filter all the dust out of the air in your house. We should put a little asterisk, but we don't actually recommend that. All right, on the right side panel, we have a blank side panel. On the left side panel, we have a sexy window that you can see through to all of the sexy green LED fans, green LED strips, and yes, that GeForce GTX 780 Ti has that same look we've come to expect from NVIDIA high-end graphics cards over the last little while, with that awesome aluminum shroud and that green illuminated GeForce logo. On the top of the system, yes, here we go. We have another easily removable fan filter. It took me a couple attempts there because magnets are magic and it holds it on really well. And there you can see we have access to all the fan and radiator mounting at the top of this case. We've opted for an H100i liquid cooler, so there's a dual radiator mounted there by default. But of course, that customizability, again, you can change that to whatever you want. At the back of the board, we have another 140mm fan. We have 6 USB 2.0 ports, 4 USB 3.0 ports, USB BIOS flashback button, gigabit Ethernet, optical audio out, powered eSATA 6G. This is so cool. If you have any 6 gig SATA devices and you use an eSATA cable and you have like a powered adapter, you can actually just power the whole thing off that. Love it. Bluetooth 7.1 audio out, and yes, 2 dual link DVI ports, HDMI, and DisplayPort with full support for NVIDIA 3D Vision Surround with up to 3 monitors in surround and 1 auxiliary display. Now, I lied a little bit before. When we open up the system, we will see that there has actually been a change that we didn't observe last time. Actually, the change is not visible in any way at all, because the 4930K 6-core processor in there, which was overclockable in the previous edition system, is now overclocked. It runs at 4.2 gigahertz under that H100i liquid cooler, and while that may not be an earth-shattering overclock by any stretch of the imagination, it is faster than the 4960X's turbo speed, meaning that it is faster than what you can buy without any kind of overclocking, and you get it guaranteed by NCIX throughout the duration of your warranty. So if nothing else, if you planned to tweak it and tune it beyond that, which you can do, you will have a fallback to a factory-stable overclock profile that is saved within the board's BIOS. So it's never a bad thing. For the motherboard, we went with the P9X79 Pro. It's a great price-to-performance ratio for an X79 board. We've also got 16 gigs of Corsair Vengeance Pro memory in their blue color scheme, although, like I said, customizable. I'm sounding like a broken record here. You could change that to whatever colors you want. You could put gold ones in it, you know, for if you found a motherboard that those matched, for example. We've also got a GeForce GTX 780 Ti. As I mentioned before, you're probably used to seeing cards that look a little something like this, but this one's different. It has a dark plating finish on the aluminum fins that are visible through the sexy polycarbonate windows, so it looks a little better than the other cards and performs a little better than the other cards. And if it overclocks, if yours overclocks anything like the one that I've got, it'll be 1.2 gigahertz or more, which is some pretty beastly performance. It's all powered by an AX860i, and because the 780 Ti is quite power efficient, you would be able to easily power 2 of these off of that, and storage is taken care of by a Corsair Neutron GTX 240 gig SSD, as well as a 2 terabyte WD Black. Onboard audio is used in the system. It should be noted that onboard audio has come a long way in the last few years, particularly if you're willing to invest in something like a dedicated headphone amp if you're running very high-end headphones, although I personally still prefer a sound card or some kind of DAC because they're really not that expensive, but we're leaving the choice completely up to you. So there you have it, guys. At just shy of $3,000, so $2,899, it's not exactly, a bargain basement system by any stretch of the imagination, but what it is an extremely high-performance system that comes with a factory overclock, comes with the fastest single GPU graphics card in existence, and a bunch of free games. So with your GTX 780 Ti, you get Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, Splinter Cell Blacklist, Batman Arkham Origins, and you also qualify for $100 off an NVIDIA Shield, which is a pretty compelling deal once you've tried out game streams. So think about it, guys. Beaming this down to this anywhere in your house, it actually works. I've been using it for the last little while, and it's pretty darn fantastic. So thank you for checking out this NCIX PC episode about the Dream Machine XG. Don't forget to subscribe to NCIX Tech Tips for more videos like this from ncix.com. And also videos with those other guys.